Hey yo, what up? What up, fans of the fucking sport? It's Lamech with selahsportstv back at you with another one. Yeah, we're gonna talk a little bit of hoops today. Right off the heels of a Lakers win. I was about to say a big Lakers win because y'all, man, you cocksuckers make it feel like that sometimes. It's like game 2 of an 82 game season, and we got cocksuckers going crazy after the first game. Like after the first game, you literally had basketball fans, people that claim to know the game after one game of the season talking about you got to trade AD, trade him. Like I'm like, what universe did I get moved to? Like I didn't agree to come here. Like this is not the same. This ain't the same timeline that I was on before. Like what happened? One game and guys are people like you got to trade AD. Anyway, after game 2, let's take a look at AD's numbers. 30 points, 12 rebounds, 3 blocks, 3 steals. Now to me that's an awesome game. That's a great game for a big man, right? Great game he had. 3 blocks and 3 steals. That's a great defensive game. And he put up 30 points. He carried the Lakers to a victory, right? But what do you see and hear in the media? LeBron James, right? It's getting pretty toxic. So basically, one guy takes credit for all the victories and another guy takes credit for all the losses. And you guys, you cocksuckers, you LeBron James fanatics, you fanboys, like you can't even hide your bullshit because last year it was Russell Westbrook, right? Last year it was Russell. That's who your scapegoat is. Like you guys just have a built-in scapegoat. You're not into basketball. You guys are into narrative only. It's really sickening, really sickening. As a guy who I'm gonna say used to love basketball, I don't really love basketball anymore. I don't like what Adam Silver did to the league. I was a huge Laker fan. I'm talking about die-hard Laker fan, right? Magic Johnson, Worthy, Kareem, Byron Scott, AC Green, Kurt Rambis. Those were my guys, right? I used to love the Lakers, and I followed the Lakers ever since then. But with this Genie Bus thing, man, I just can't get with it. It don't even feel like the same fucking franchise. It don't feel like the same franchise. Like the moves they make, like keeping this punk around when he has shown little to no respect to the game, let alone the organization. He don't even respect the game. He's on the bench eating food and drinking wine and changing clothes at halftime. He has no respect for the game. None. But let's move on. So basically AD had a great game, but you won't hear this in the media. What you'll hear, because the Lakers won, is LeBron this, LeBron that, right? I think it's disgusting. I kind of touched on it, but like you see circle here, you got Russell Westbrook. And when he was on this team, he was the built-in scapegoat because that's all these guys are into. They're not into the game and actually, I don't even think they watch the games. They don't watch the games. They read the box score and watch ESPN and repeat what they hear. That's what 90% of these people who are making basketball quotes, posts, they're not fans of the sport. They're fans of a guy, which is about the most fatherless thing you can be, right? Being a man fan, that's just not and we're gonna get into it. We'll get into it. But as you can see, they love to talk stats, but not all of them. They don't like to talk all the stats, do they? Like he's coming up on 5,000 turnovers, which dwarfs anybody's career turnover numbers. This guy has more turnovers by far than any player in basketball, right? You can compare his turnover numbers to Kobe's. This is LeBron's 21st season. Kobe played 20 seasons, right? Kobe had somewhere around 4,000 turnovers, right? It's a high number, but you got to factor in that he played 20 seasons, right? And then once you do that, then you can come up with a solid turnover average, right? And it's really not that high. Kobe would give you maybe 3. I haven't looked this up, but I'm going off the top of my head. Like Kobe maybe gives you maybe 2 or 3 turnovers a game, and for his usage rate, that's not bad, right? It's not quite Jordan-esque, but it definitely ain't bad. This guy turns the fucking ball over nonstop, right? And you cocksuckers, y'all don't talk about it. Y'all don't talk about it. Like, it's okay, like, to have a standard, but you guys don't. You don't have a standard. And you could say you do all you want, but if your standard relies, if how you feel about a player can make your standard change, then you don't have a fucking standard. We're gonna get more into that though. We'll get more into that. Even down to, and I'm not in any way, don't get me wrong, I don't condone this bullshit. I do not condone this fuck shit here, you know. But when Russell Westbrook did this, a lot of you LeBron fans was talking crazy. Y'all was talking crazy about him. You were. And you should have. You should have talked crazy about him because it's fucking crazy, right? But then when your mans do it, y'all didn't say nothing. See why we can't respect you? And this is like a guy wearing a dress. You couldn't even speak against that. Like, we ain't talking about nothing like on the fringes, like it's like borderline okay. Like, we talking about this. We talking about this. Everybody knows this is bullshit. But y'all couldn't even criticize that. When you just criticize his teammate for doing it. Right? His teammate does it, you got criticism. LeBron does it, you put the blinders on and act like you don't fucking see it. You guys are weird. You guys are fucking weird. Like, this is what this role model, this guy owns a school. He's a cross-dresser that owns a school. A school that's doing horribly, by the way, but we're not gonna get on that right now. The school is performing horribly. The students are struggling. They're doing horrible job. But you won't hear anything about that, will you? As we can see, like what's his name, Bentley Farnsworth here, and he's like looking at LeBron crazy because it's like, you copying my style, dude. Like, this is your man's though. That's your guy. This your king. Look at this nigga, man. You gotta be kidding me. So we're gonna, like, what is this where he can't take any criticism? Even when he is clearly costing the team victories. Right? Even when he's clearly costing the team victories. Um, as a man, I was really say as a human being, but we know women, they tend to go off their emotions quite a bit, right? I'm not a woman, so I can't really. I'm not gonna say women. I am a man, so I know what the fuck. I know the role of a man, right? And as a man, you have to have a funnel, a philosophical funnel, right? A philosophical funnel. And what I mean by that is, uh, your funnel equates to your values. Your funnel equates to your standards. Your funnel equates to things that you accept and things you don't accept. Everybody has them, right? And if you're not really solid on those values, it's okay. You're probably a little younger. You're probably a younger guy, and you have time to figure that out, right? I'm not gonna come down on you for not having it all figured. It takes some time to really know who and what you are, who and what you want to be. It takes time to realize, even if you aren't where you want to be, to realize, hey, I'm not where I want to be, and this is where I want to be, and that requires honesty with yourself and honesty with people around you, right? So what I mean by funnel is you have your once you figure all that stuff out, once you figure all that stuff out, your funnel is set and you run people through it. And if they don't fucking fit, they just don't fit. That's the man way of doing things. I can't tell you what your values are. Only you can tell yourself that. I know what mine are, right? I know the values I aim to instill in my kids. But that's it, right? So you have your funnel, you have your values, you have your standard, and whoever doesn't fit down through there, because there's a little opening here and it comes out down here, right? So this opening, who knows what the shape of that opening could be. That opening could be a triangle, it could be a fucking rectangle, it could be round, it could be, it could be round, it could be a fucking trapezoid for, I don't know, right? It could be a fucking hectagon, it could be any shape. That's irrelevant. The point is, if this is a triangle down here, chances are a rectangle, a trapezoid ain't gonna fit. It's not gonna fit. But what y'all are doing is saying, it don't fit, but I'm just gonna put this in my people anyway. I didn't even run them through the funnel. I'm just throwing it down there with all the people that's with me. If that makes sense. You're rigging yourself. You got to stick to your values. We talk about this shit in boxing, not quite like this, but we talk about this in boxing a lot. You see a lot of fucking fanboys over there, in the boxing space, because they like this guy. They will, they will co-sign, they will support him, weight draining guys. They'll support him putting hydration clauses on guys, right? Because they like him. Meanwhile, if a fighter they don't like do it, they're condemning it. That's whole behavior. Hoes do that. Hoes do that. That's what bitches do. Oh, I don't like. It's like everything is about how they feel. Everything is about their emotions. But emotions change. That's why, as a man, you can't do that. You're not free to do that. If you basing everything off of how you feel, what happens when your emotions change? Because when you say I like somebody, that's what you're talking about. That's a emotional attachment. It's fucking sick. If it sounds sick, it's because it is. Have your values and stick to them. Right? That's what standing on business is. That's what it is. That's what it looks like. So we see this cocksucker can't guard anybody on the floor. Which position can LeBron righteously guard? What position would you say he can guard? He can, I keep hearing this cocksucker saying, yeah, I'm going to guard all 5 positions and Shut. You can't guard one position. He can't guard point guards. I wouldn't even expect him to. He can't guard shooting guards. At this stage in his career, I wouldn't expect him to. He can't guard small forwards. He can't guard power forwards. And he damn sure can't guard a center. He's a liability on the fucking court. Like, why don't y'all talk about this? Right? Imagine Kobe getting shut down by J.J. Barrera. Imagine Michael Jordan getting shut down. Bird, Magic. Imagine anybody that we call great getting shut down by a guy like that. J.J. fucking Barrera. And he really did a number on LeBron too. To the point where we're still talking about it. Shut him down. He really did that. And then Jason Terry killed LeBron on the other end. Had a much better final series than LeBron James. Right? But we don't hear any of it. All we hear about is everybody else. Here's LeBron in the middle of a game reading a stat sheet. Right? And here's the scapegoat, Russell Westbrook, looking at him like, bro, what the fuck? Nobody see this guy doing this. Like, no, everybody puts the blinders on when he's doing his bullshit. He's a horrible teammate. He's sitting here looking at the stats because that's all he cares about at this stage. Stats. That's it. So, AD, back to AD, gets a lot of blame, right? Especially when Lakers take losses. The Lakers take losses, but anybody that knows the game should also know if you play through this guy, he will produce. You got to play through him, though. If you play through AD, they'll win because his quiet is kept. And the media, again, they didn't want to talk about this. But LeBron, late last season, he was ready to shut it down again because he had this quote unquote foot thing. I heard something pop. He was ready to shut down the season because he was feeling like the Lakers wasn't going to make it. He quit. Okay? That's what he did. He fucking quit on the team. But then something crazy happened. The Lakers started playing good ball. Hachimura and Anthony Davis, and then the rest was given. They was putting what's the name on the line every time. I can't think of his fucking name, but they were giving them all these free throws, and basically the Lakers were playing pretty good ball, playing through this guy. But once LeBron saw that, no, we can't have these guys making the playoffs without me. That's gonna fuck up my legacy. Imagine that. Imagine that. You know what type of man this guy. And that's why we ended up seeing LeBron back on the court. That's the only reason. You think if that team would have started losing games when he went down with that foot injury, if the team would have kept losing, he ain't coming back. What's my proof? He did it the same shit the season before. He did that the season before. The team could have made the playoffs if they had won the last two games, and he chose to sit. He didn't even try. Right? LeBron is not only not in the GOAT conversation, he's not in the top 5. I have him at number 11, okay? Which, personally, to me, is pretty good. Because there's a lot of professional basketball players that have been in the league. It's a lot of them. So to be number 11 out of all, that's pretty good. But I know a lot of you cocksuckers, you're going to take that as like a major league diss. Not my problem. Not my problem. That is how I feel though. I got LeBron right underneath Isaiah Thomas. Right? There you go. I got him above Karl Malone. Here's why you guys are so toxic. Because LeBron can never he never, like, for someone who's a leader and a GOAT this and he's the best that and he's so this, he can never take any type of blame. It's always someone else's fault. And you see the long list of players here that have been blamed every time this cocksucker loses. Every single time. It's going to be one of these guys' fault. Guaranteed. Historically, go back and look at it. It's always going to be another player's fault. Always. It doesn't matter how many turnovers LeBron has in the actual game. It doesn't matter how many of these guys have to change their game to facilitate his numbers. Right? It doesn't matter what your game is. He wants you on his team just to be a spot-up shooter. But it's like, dude, that ain't my game. So why do you even want me on your team? You know? It's a real mind fuck. And a lot of these guys ended up almost going crazy playing with him. In the media scrutiny and all everything that comes along with playing with this cocksucker. Right? The LeBron James faction of fans is worse than any of these entertainers fans. Like, you got the Beyonce and the Beehive, and you got Nicki Minaj and her what do they call them? Barbies. Like, these grown men that follow this cocksucker are worse than those. It's sick. It's fatherless and it's sick. Then we have this. So, what's this? This is one day before the infamous helicopter crash with Kobe Bryant, which took the life of him, his daughter, and all those people that were in that helicopter, right, died the very next day. But first, he wore these shoes as a tribute to Kobe Bryant, who we're like, huh? Because at the time, you got to think, like, we get it now. Kobe was living when LeBron wore these tribute shoes. Kobe was alive. Like, it was no reason for a tribute. Kobe was going to the Lakers games. He was there. Like, he was still here with us. There was no reason for a tribute. What was the reason for a fucking tribute? Right? Especially when you in that, like, y'all wasn't even cool like that. Y'all ain't like, they was never like that. LeBron and Kobe were never like that. Ever. Right? So for this guy to have his tribute shoes the very next day, Kobe dies in some helicopter crash, right? But then you didn't even go to the memorial. He didn't show up at the Kobe memorial. So you did that, but you didn't do that. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. And I know that's very uncomfortable. Notice I didn't make any allegations. Everything I said is facts. Okay? This ain't no allegedly. He wore these fucking shoes the day before Kobe died in his helicopter crash. That's a fact. He didn't go to the memorial. That's a fact. No, we don't look past shit like that, man. Real respect, real over here. And you best believe my funnel is securely in place. So, I'm not crying for AD. As far as AD, like, I like his game. I do. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I do think when he's getting the ball and playing confident, he's pretty fucking good. He is pretty good, right? He's a little brittle. He's a little brittle on the brittle side, injury prone. But can we really fault the guy for that? Like, do people really want to be hurt? I don't think people really want to be injured. You know? So, like, to me, yeah, frustrating. Like, if I was some huge Laker fan these days, like, I'd be frustrated with it. But like, to blame the guy, I'm not gonna blame him. Nobody wants to be injured, right? But hey, this is what he signed up for, and apparently, old AD is a glutton for punishment, right? He's a glutton for punishment, right? He signed up for it. He signed up for this. So I guess for AD, he just has to keep his head down and keep taking it. You know, keep taking it. The bad news is that it doesn't look like this is gonna be his team because LeBron will never. He's never gonna retire. Now we're hearing that LeBron's gonna stay for his youngest son to get to the league. Like, how do you know? Like, I don't hear nobody talking about them like they are NBA locks to make it to the NBA. So who knows how long? And I got to tell you, man, nothing from everything that I've heard, everything that I've read, everything that I've seen. One of the worst things, especially in the NBA, one of the worst things, worst experiences you can have is playing playing alongside an aging legend, right? They're not very pleasant to play with, right? They're just not very pleasant to be teammates with. But hey, is what he signed up for. That's why you make the big bucks. And that's all I got. If you like the video, go ahead and throw that crossover, throw the lob up, and slam it on that like button. Peace.